Peace, y'all. What's up? Yakimi Coco here, and I'm back with part 2 of shadow work. I may do a couple of compilations of this because I really want you guys to dive deep into what it is that you have to work on with yourself. And this is important for all of us, y'all, because I'm telling you, I had to do some work on myself. Like, I don't care if you got to be snotball crying to get through it. Let's get through it, because there are so many relationships going on at this point in time in our lives, and we keep entering other people's lives with unhealed stuff. So even if you feel like you don't need to work on yourself, that's an indication that you always need to work on yourself. Moment to moment, every 10 seconds, tighten up, man. It's important because the benefits of doing shadow work help you develop more courage and confidence to face what's unknown about yourself, to embody your whole self, to understand your self-worth. Now, you may not be a bad person in a relationship, right? You might be the person that overextends yourself. You might be the person that sits there and takes the abuse because you don't know how to get out, or maybe you're trying to protect your children. You're dealing with this toxic woman because you don't want to leave your children, or if you leave, she'll keep the children from you. You have to learn how to do the shadow work on yourself from that aspect too, because I'm not saying that you're a victim, but you're not always the problem. But you have to look within yourself to say, why am I holding on to something that's not pouring into me? How can I relieve myself of this? Why am I a people pleaser? Or whatever it is that may be holding you back in your life of receiving something that you feel like you're very much deserving of. And I don't think nobody who is a good person deserves to go through any rhetoric and bullshit from people who are unhealed. It's not fair. It really isn't. Because, like, I'm not the mama that hurt you. I'm not the daddy that abandoned you. I'm not the ex that destroyed your life. You know, and it seemed like a lot of us take on baggage from what somebody else did. Like I just told my friend a little while ago, I said a lot of these women are product of men not loving them properly, dogging them out, red pilling the shit out of them, and talking to them crazy. So they give you what's left over of them after they done been ran over by your gender. So you ain't got to deal with the type of mess that comes with the woman that has been dogged out by a man, but at least have some type of understanding of why she's like that. And he could say the same thing in aspect of a man being broken, women not showing up for him, or my child's mother trying to keep me away from my children, or something like that. And that right there, women break men too. We can't make it seem one-sided. That's the part that gets on my nerve, is how you have these content creators, you can tell in their conversation that they have been through broken, jaded shit with a female or a male, and they may not want you to go through the things that they went through, but they have like a whole 30-minute rant about how you shouldn't deal with people. or how you shouldn't be in a relationship, not how you should study this person, and if they exhibit red flags. And they don't do that. They just go on a rant about how they've been hurt by somebody. We all been hurt by somebody. But when pain teaches lessons. What did you do wrong? What did you accept? Even if that other person is messed up, you always have to look at yourself and say, how can I change my situation? One, you don't accept people who are not good for your health. Once you start seeing people exhibit them childhood traumas, showing off their disabilities, it's time to wrap it up, pack it up, and exit. Period. You don't put yourself through, it's like some people are a gluttony for punishment. Like, this person is toxic, they fucked up, but then you stick around for years and complain every day. It's like you keep creating your same experience that you don't like. You complain about it. So you done implemented a mantra of fuckery that you don't want, but you keep complaining about it. So it's like now you have to shut your mouth, develop a backbone, remove yourself, because the more you keep complaining about it, the more the lesson is going to repeat itself, indicating that you have to change your life by changing your mind, by changing your emotions, and saying that I will not tolerate this disrespect, this toxic energy in my space. And remove yourself. I don't care what nobody say. If you toxic to me, I'm a runner, I'm a track star, I'm a runaway. I don't like when it get hard. You know what I'm saying? I can deal with tough situations. I can answer tough questions. I just not gonna tolerate disrespect from nobody. Nobody. Like, one of the dates we gotta start asking questions about is, if a person good, are you good for my health? Because to see the way my blood pressure set up, I don't like to argue, period. We don't have to go back and forth. We don't have to think alike. I just need to know, can we think together? Can we move as a unit, as a team? Like, what you motherfuckers talking about bringing to the table or being providers. Can you provide peace? Can you provide solutions? Are you a problem solver? Can you provide emotional intelligence? For the men, as a woman, can you be soft? Are you in survival mode? And that's one of the top questions a man need to ask a woman when he dating her. Are you in survival mode? Because if that woman in survival mode, if she's struggling financially, if she just got out of a toxic relationship and she ain't healed from that shit, you gonna see it. Before you even put the condom on, baby, you need to know, is she hurt? Are you a rebound? Are you revenge sex because her man cheated on her? Because a lot of y'all brothers, y'all be getting yourself caught up in some weird ass situations. Y'all will show up at a woman's house. Y'all will move in with a woman and your name ain't on the list and wonder why you ain't got no say so. You can't act in your masculine trying to rule over something that you didn't even earn or pay for. It's like about being in alignment. And before you can be in alignment with anybody outside yourself, you have to be in alignment with yourself. Or it'll be a hiccup, moving forward for the rest of your life. Even if you went through situations where people may have hurt you, you have to face that situation of what hurt you. Because if you don't heal from it, and then as a woman, your womb holds memory, it holds emotions, it holds trauma. So if you ain't over this motherfucker right here, what make you think it's going to be sunshine and rainbows and you ain't even closed this chapter? We have the tendency to attract different people. Well, I'm gonna say the same entity, the same energy in different relationships. I learned that for myself years ago. Like, I'll go for a walk, and I'm telling you, when you go for a walk, clarity comes to mind. You hear what I'm saying? Like, I'm walking, I'm like, damn, just thinking to myself, why do I keep attracting toxic men? I know I'm not no fucked up person. I just react to how I'm being treated. And then Spirit said to me, and I was like, the reason why you keep attracting these type of people is because your womb is holding on to that trauma. The energy hasn't been transmutated so that you can attract better. You're still holding on to what happened to you when you were a teenager, what happened to you in your relationships with men, and you keep attracting them because sexual transmitted demons don't, it feel like the demons just hiding in the pussy to infect another motherfucker. It got to the point to where now I don't even receive oral sex because I feel like if that man left any essence of himself in that character with him, the next motherfucker gonna gobble that shit up. So I don't, I just wanna, cause they be cool in the beginning until they munch on the cookies and then they turn into a cookie monster. So I just try to leave that part out of my relationships. No more oral sex. Like, I done learned how to transmute energy, but I still just don't want to take no chances. Like, yes, I said what I said, and I have to be raw and uncut because this shit is serious. That womb, it has energy for the purpose of creating and manifesting. So the conception of a thought can and will be manifested. We manifest due to our dominant thoughts and our dominant emotions, and that trauma can come out as anything. Like, let's say a girl got molested when she was 5 or 6, and sometimes it don't just happen at one time. It can happen on and on for years until somebody comes to rescue her, a CPS sets in place, and then boom, she got taken away from this family because of the molestation. Then she ends up in a foster family that ends up perpetuating the same thing they just took her from. So now once she hit a teenager, she's wild and promiscuous. She's into drugs. She's selling her body because this is her protective mechanism to protect her inner child. She may not want to sleep with that man. He might be sweating all over her, greasy, breath stinking, grunting, whatever. But she's harnessing that energy. Nobody told her how to heal from being SA'd by an adult as a child. No one has ever taught her that. So this is how it come out in promiscuity. Because her womb is full of toxic memories, trauma. Just think about it. Now, if somebody came along and took her out of that situation and showed her the love of a father, the love of a mother, the protection, the ability to feel safe, then maybe her womb could have healed from that. So by the time she became an adult, she probably could have had a happy, healthy relationship. But instead, she's just used to men rotating in and out of her bed because that was introduced to her. That trauma led her on a life of drugs and prostitution. So see how important it is to heal that inner child. Or you have Rashad, who didn't receive love and attention by his mom because she was a single parent. And all she did was come home, work, and pay bills, and stress, and drink, and smoke, and whatever. He wants to show her the artwork that he made at school, and she like, get that shit out of my face. Go outside and play, and be home before the street light come home, or whatever, or something like that. So growing up, he doesn't know how to relate to a woman. He wants to love a woman. He has feelings for women, but when it comes to really having a relationship, he doesn't know how to genuinely connect with a woman. A woman can come into his life today and be good to him. He gonna cheat on her because all he knows is sex. Oh, I'm finna hook up with this girl because she bad. You know what I'm saying? She a baddie. She got a stat body. You know, she got da. He don't give a fuck about her because she works, she goes to nursing school, yada, yada, yada. He wants her because she got a fat ass and she looks like an Instagram model. Ain't no man, he ain't never seen no man take his mother out on a date or celebrate an anniversary with her. He never seen a man speak love into his mother. She was too busy shitting on him and talking about how niggas ain't shit. So now she taught her child her trauma. See, one thing we got to realize as adults when we have children, whether they ours or not, they always watching us. We are all products of our environment. So if you're dating somebody with these type of traumas, you need to know that shit head on so you know whether or not you have the endurance to help them unpack that baggage or just leave them alone to heal until they can feel safe enough to date again. But I definitely feel like unhealed motherfuckers need to stay themselves out of the dating scene, the websites, in general. Like, y'all need a whole bitter island by yourself. Because everybody is not the person that did you wrong. But when you face the shadow work, when you do, and say, unless we consciously work on the shadow, it almost always projects. That is nearly laid on someone or somebody else. So we have to take responsibility for it. It's not nobody else's fault that you went through what you went through. I could say I got raped behind my elementary school when I was 13. All niggas ain't shit. Every time I look around, you got a man trying to predatorize a woman, a child essayer. Grown ass man sodomizing kids. I can look at that and say all men ain't shit. Would I be wrong? Yes. True, there are sodomizers out here. There are people out here that's essaying people or whatever, raping women, this, that, and the third. But you also have men out here that will fuck your world up about a woman. It's all a matter of perception, healed perception of how you want to interact and deal with people. But don't impose and show off your disabilities. If you feel like you're not ready for nobody, it's cool. Just don't impose that shit because it's toxic. You have the conscious and the unconscious. Your conscious mind deals with logic, filter, analytical movement, decision making, short-term memory, willpower, and critical thinking. And then you have your unconscious mind that deals with habits, patterns, emotion, protection, controls bodily functions, beliefs, desires, blaming, denying, attachment to things, thoughts, and feelings. So you have that's left and right brain type emotion. But I'm gonna go into different videos on this. So what I want y'all guys to do as a shadow work exercise is process training your mind to recognize your shadows, and take the time and the effort to recommend at least 5 or 10 minutes to yourself each week to engage in an activity. And this will give you the opportunity to basically reflect on your relationships, reactions, and inner thoughts with yourself as well as other people. It is also important to remember that the exercises that you do, it may be discomfort, it may cause dis-ease, you may feel like, oh, I ain't finna do this shit. Do it anyway, because it's shadow work. And the problem with a lot of people is that they don't want to face their shadow, the parts of themselves that makes questions become uncomfortable. But you want to examine your experiences in your past relationships and situationships to see the role you played, even as a child. Let's say your brother or sister did something to get you in trouble. How did you feel? How did you react? How did you speak up for yourself? And, things of that nature. Sit in that energy and see where you went wrong. Because in order to make it through the next level, like Super Mario, you got to know how to play the board. So sometimes you have to look back at the past and reflect on what actions did you make towards the reason why relationships happen like this in your life today. What did I do? What did I go through? You can go through your childhood, you can go through your adulthood, but go back and write down key points that you remember in your life. You know that when you were chosen one, write that down in your journal too. When you woke up, what did you experience? Because I know for me waking up was trauma. Dealing with things in my life, dealing with hard, tough decisions that could be life or death questioning is what woke me up. Me watching my mom take her last breath in front of me of cancer woke me up. You feel what I'm saying? So I had to go back and look at the trauma. Like when you're on the path of the chosen, you have to go through things. Some more traumatic than other people. So when you might meet somebody along your path that need that light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes you are a light for people and don't even know it. You can be a testimony for somebody else and say, oh man, yeah, I know what it's like to go through that. I overcame that. And let me share some things with you that I did to turn it up a notch and be able to overcome that. Or be that woman that say, yes, I've been a victim of domestic violence, but I'm a victor over my circumstances, and I survived it, and this is what I had to do, and this may be able to help you too. Our healing journey is not ours by ourselves. Our healing journey could be for our children, to prevent them from going through childhood trauma. Because just because you have childhood trauma don't mean necessarily have to. Our children don't have to be raised with the childhood trauma we were raised with. You feel me? This is important, y'all. I speak healthy, prosperous, abundant relationships into this universe. You know. But if you didn't watch my last video, go back and watch my last video. In this video, your exercise is to get a shadow work journal. And you're going to journal your life every step of the way. If you went through a tumultuous, toxic relationship, you need a shadow work journal. I don't care if you go order that motherfucker off of TikTok. If you create your own, and when you write down the trauma, you also make sure that you write down the remedy. What techniques did you use to work through that? Did you meditate? Did you listen to binaural beats? Did you center your energy so that you can receive messages on how to heal? Did you listen to other married couples to see tips on how you can strengthen your marriage? Ask yourself questions that you don't normally ask yourself. What did I do this week to work on my anxiety from this abusive relationship? What triggers me? Why do I get angry when certain people tell me certain things about myself? Am I bad with taking criticism, healthy criticism? Ask yourself all of these. Be specific. Because whatever you realize is wrong with you, you want to write that down so you can work on it and remove it. So you can come back better, healthy, and strong mentally, physically, and spiritually. Because you all you got at the end of the day. Nobody can step in and tell you about yourself. They can. Anybody can recite an opinion of who you are or tell you your character. But if you don't own your shit and say, I'm going to work on me because I want to be a breath of fresh air for myself. I want to be able to be in an environment where people don't think I'm the one that's toxic. You got to love. That's self-love. That's the first love of self, is your shadow work. Know your worth. Because if you don't know your worth to yourself, you ain't even going to pick up the pen. You ain't going to open up the book. If you don't have enough courage to love on you. Love takes courage. Everybody say, I love you, this, that, and the word. It sounds the same as fucking shit until it's time to show up for somebody. Until it's time to show up for yourself. This is the first aspect of self-love. This is the first aspect of tackling gender wars and not being so bitter about what hurt you. Because if you bitter about what hurt you, you ain't learned the lesson. That's all I have for this evening, y'all. I want to thank you for listening in to Pillow Talk with your Kimmy Coco. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Love, peace, hair grease, and sticky bed sheets. I'm out. Peace.
It's time to rewind the lessons and reflect this time. Breaking cycles and changing directions. Breaking